On the issue of power sector itself, CARE Ratings yesterday released a fairly comprehensive report judging a whole lot of SEBs. I think 13 SEBs, state electricity boards, power distribution companies has been judged, as well a note on the transmission sector. So power grid is a stock in focus there. Revati Kasture, the head of research, CARE Ratings, joins in. Revati, first up, just a sector issue itself. These draft norms, which are the companies that are likely to be affected, and will it be a fairly severe impact, the CERC draft norms?
Firstly, the CERC draft norms are for the central utilities. So definitely NTPC is the company which is going to be affected, because they were earning a fairly high ROE, I think around 23-24%, which was more of incentive-based ROE. So with the stricter O&M norms coming into play, and the tax benefits slated to be passed on to the consumers, NTPC would see a deceleration in its ROE.
Okay, Revati, hi, good morning. What about something like power grid? What kind of an impact would that have?
Power grid would have an impact to the extent of, again, the O&M stricter tightening norms, but the norms already for the transmission sector were pretty tight, which were there in place. So I don't see power grid having a larger impact than NTPC per se.
Okay, well, another industry question before we come to the SEBs. You mentioned in your report that the southern grid will be connected to the northern grids sometime in FY14, is it? Or is it in 2014?
Yeah.
When does the grid connection come, and what will be the impact when surplus power is available to the southern grid?
Yeah, so we've said that in the next 1 year probably we'll see the southern grid connected to the northern and the eastern western, that is the NEW grid. Now perennially south has been a deficit region in terms of the power situation. So we see that situation improving a little bit with power from the surplus western region, especially states like Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, which are today surplus, and states like Maharashtra, which are supposed to get surplus FY15 onwards. We see some of that power moving towards the southern states, and the southern states getting some respite because of that. We also see that there are some policy initiatives which are of a good nature in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is probably going to see a better power days ahead with this connection, with a lot of central power generation coming up in the state, and interstate grid connectivity coming up.
Okay, what would you time it as? Say 1 year from now, would it be December next year? Would it be a little earlier than that?
A little earlier than that is what I estimated.
Okay, so second half of FY15 could be good for southern-based companies in terms of power availability.
All right. What about the tariff hike itself, Revati? Because most of the managements are confident that perhaps by the end of this year, the tariff hike will be, or rather the compensatory tariff will be, there will be some more clarity on it. What is your view, and how much it could impact the sector?
See, a lot of states have already effected a lot of tariff hikes in the past 3 years. So if you look at the data which is available across different states, then we see most of the states have also effected double-digit tariff hikes. Now, we've covered this issue in our report. We've covered about 11 states and 30 discoms in our report, that is distribution companies. These, why 11 states and 30 discoms is because we tried to cover about 80% of the power demand in the country. So when we look at these states and these discoms, it's not that tariff hikes have not happened, or tariff revisions have not happened, but still the discoms are not as benefited from the tariff hikes, because let's see what the problems are that are facing these discoms. These discoms have high AT&C losses. Two, the regulatory assets, which means costs not approved by by the state is really very high. 3, there is subsidy which is there, but the subsidy doesn't come on time. And 4, there are some high paying customers which move into the captive mode. So because of all these 4 reasons, we're seeing that the DISCOMs are facing issues. So unless we attack these structural issues and the financial issues which are facing these distribution companies, we're not going to, tariff hike is not going to be the panacea of all evils for these companies, you know. So we'll have to see a reduction in the AT&C losses of these companies by more investment in the operational efficiencies, control of theft, you know. Some of the states have also adopted the,
No, sorry, actually running out of time. That's why I wanted to get the other issue in. You are rating power distribution companies. Now, there has been that bailout package signed between banks and 4 state electricity companies. I think Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana and Rajasthan.
Haryana and the...
Yes. Are these states...
They have issued bonds.
Now, are these 4 DISCOMs now good assets? Or are any of them still shaky in the sense their revenues are lower than their expenses? For which of these exposures would banks be safe, and for which would you still be a little worried?
So this is a little more rated related question, and you know we kind of don't give rating outlooks before we actually do those DISCOMs. But you know, most of these states, you know, whether it is Haryana, UP, Rajasthan or Tamil Nadu, whenever this restructuring happens of bonds, what we are saying is that the state governments actually take over a part of the liability of the DISCOMs, and therefore we have released you know, updates on the state government. We have a state government rating in place, which will get transmitted to the DISCOM. But if you look at the DISCOM level, then the better DISCOMs, I mean, obviously are from Gujarat, which are today earning profits.
Okay, and is Tamil Nadu any better or UP any better after the restructuring?
Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu definitely, you know, we are seeing a lot of improvement in Tamil Nadu. One, because you know, Tamil Nadu is definitely going to get into a better shape. One, because there is infusion about 5 billion equity in the current fiscal in the DISCOMs. Then they have addressed the issue of bond issuance through the state support. Then there is a interstate power transmission corridor which is coming up, and there is a lot of central power which is power generation which is proposed to come up in that state. So you know, about we kind of see about you know about 3 gigawatt of synchronization happening in the southern grid,
so
because
exposures
of the
so exposures to TNEB will not be a very big problem here on.
That will be a little premature to say. We'll have to still analyze the state government to say that.
All right. Actually out of time, Revati. Thank you very much for joining us with your views. The important takeaway is that Tamil Nadu-based companies, maybe 9 months from now, are not going to face too much by way of power shortages. So stock pickers may please note that. For the markets itself,